hold on,
Welcome to the JAWN
Don't leave
podcast.
yet.
I'm your host,
Thanks for
Shalia.
listening
And
to
your
my
host,
mom and
Shanina.
auntie. Make sure you
Today's
guys
affirmation
follow them
says,
on
start your day
Instagram
off with
at the
prayer. You never
underscore
know what blessings it
John
will bring and
underscore
what
podcast,
negativity it
on
will
Twitter
block.
at W underscore the J, on
And
TikTok
today's word of the
at
week is
the John
procrastinate.
A Podcast, and
To be
visit our
slow or
website
late about doing something that should be done. People
www.johnpod.net.
procrastinate because their
Don't
drive to
forget to
delay
ask
is
the
irrationally
John,
stronger
sending
than the
your
drive
listening
to
letters
act.
to
This happens
thejohnpod
when their
at
self control and
gmail.com.
motivation are weakened by issues like
Period.
exhaustion
Listen
and
to
are opposed
JAWN,
by issues like
a
fear.
podcast.
So,
I
procrastinate
love
is this
y'all.
week's word.
Be forward.
Ways to help procrastination: keep a to do list, prioritize your to do list, become a master of scheduling and project planning, tackle the hardest task at your peak times, set yourself time bound goals, and use task and time management apps.
Okay. All right. So let's check in. What's up with you, sis? You cool?
Yeah, I guess.
Ciao.
Third time the charm. We was having
Right.
some technical difficulties.
Not on our part. It wasn't us.
Is you cool?
I'm cool. I'm cool. Tomorrow is Thursday, another day closer to Friday and the weekend. So I'm cool. I look forward to Wednesdays because I know I get to work from home
Oh, okay, yeah.
for the rest of the week and I don't have to. And now with school starting back up, that's a whole other thing with Georgia traffic.
Yes. So you go into the office Monday and Tuesdays or?
Yes, Mondays and Tuesdays, I go in the office. And they are typically my long days where I'm staying till 7. So
Mm.
it is what it is. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, but I'm over it. Just let me work from home. So, all right. Oh, I like that, John. What's your I like that, John, for this week?
I watched this show on Hulu called Mother Undercover, and it was like a series of true, like maybe like true crime, maybe true crime stories, I guess, of like mothers. Um, like for instance, the one story, it was the mom. She was actually in Philadelphia, and she went undercover to solve her son's murder. This other mom, her ex took her son to South Korea, and she like worked and went to South Korea to get her son back. Like he basically was kidnapping him, and like South Korea didn't sign this treaty with the US. So if somebody kidnaps, the US can't step in.
Oh, okay.
um and then like another episode, it was like this other woman, she went kind of undercover too to crack down on a corrupt judge. This judge was like basically, it was like a family judge, and like if a man went to court, like to get custody of his kids or whatever, like as long as he paid the judge, they was like just awarding it.
Wow, that's
So
crazy.
I know. So yeah, it was. I mean, it was good, but I understand how, like, sometimes as a parent, like you got to sacrifice and try to do what's best for your kids. So yeah, it was good on Hulu, but I think it
Okay.
was like an ABC thing or something.
Okay. So my I like that, Johns. I listened to this podcast called Black True Crime Podcast, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the young lady's name, but it was about a young lady in Nigeria that got raped and killed in a church. Um, and I'm not even going to talk about the details of what happened because it was so brutal. But it just was crazy. So, um, just opened my eyes to a lot of things that go on other places. So yeah. And then because I'm always seeing something like, oh, I gotta try it. I've been on social media seeing these glazed donut almonds at Target. And so on
What?
Saturday when I was
Glazed
out,
donut almonds. Like,
let
what are
me
you
tell
saying
you,
right now?
girl, they're so good because it gives you like if you have a sweet tooth, it gives you like, oh, I'm eating something sweet, but it's not that sweet. It has like 7 or like 9 grams of sugar or something like that. And almonds are healthy for you. So they're so good. I got one bag because that's all they had, but
Who make it? Blue
good
Diamond?
and no good and gather. Target brand.
Oh, good and gather. Mm.
Yeah, you if I buy Target's trail mixes and stuff a lot. But yeah, they're made by Good and Gather. That's like one of their newer, well, it's not new, but one of their newer
Yeah.
brands. Um, but they're so good. So I just ordered some more because they, like I said, they only had one bag in the store. So when I first seen it, I'm like, because people be hyping stuff up, but they're actually really good. So prime time, what did you buy? Who got your money? Who took all your money?
Yeah, I've been just spending too much. But I was telling you the other day how I use the Walmart delivery service.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, cuz I usually use like just like Walmart like 2-day delivery service. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
2-day shipping service. So that's the thing. Like Walmart is shipping, delivery and pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first time really using the delivery service
Okay.
where it's like a shopper goes into the
Mm-hmm.
Walmart and gets your stuff or whatever. And they came so fast, like literally an hour from the time that I submitted it. Like it was at my house. And I
Yeah.
don't live like down the street from the Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wait, what? When I first ordered and it came that fast, I was like, oh shoot, let me order some more stuff.
It's not always that fast.
Well, I did pay extra for it to be that like within three
Oh,
hours. I paid the
okay.
within 3 hours
Okay.
for it, but it wasn't nowhere near 3 hours. It was an hour both
Okay.
times, and they came like back to back days, and it was like within an hour of me pressing the button that they came and delivered the stuff, and I was like, oh
That's
wow,
because if you pay extra, then so with that, I learned that it's just like Uber or what's the Instacart and all that stuff. So if you pay extra, then they're going to pay the shopper extra. So they're going to be like, oh, I'm gonna take this. You know what I mean? Because they're
yeah.
getting extra money.
I
But
was only,
I,
but yeah, it's only $5 more,
yeah, but they get that on top of whatever Walmart is probably paying them. You
right?
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Well, girl, I was like, cause gas so high, that's darn near the same thing of me having to like get out my car, get dressed, get in the car, go. Nah,
how much is
forget
gas
about it.
there?
Like 370 something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. I was even telling Ava, I was like, because the second time I thought I pressed the button, but I didn't. And then I was like, oh, I thought I pressed the button. I said it out loud. And then after I pressed the button, then it came in like an hour. And then I was like to Ava, remember when I told you that? She was like, yeah. I was like, that's when I ordered it. And she was like, what? And it's already here? I'm like, yes. Um,
Yeah. It's convenient.
but yeah, so I mean I bought some stuff, but most of the stuff that I bought was like house stuff, stuff for the house and some pantry items. And I ordered Ava shoes for school. Um I bought a water pick. Had needed a water pick for a while since mine's broke. And Ava, she has braces, so she really been needed it. So I got the water pick. It felt so good to use it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I started to buy me this outfit, right? Because I have to go into the office next week for an interview to interview someone. And I started to buy me this outfit from Amazon. And then after I ordered it, they was like, it's not coming till next week. That's not what it said when I submitted it. So I canceled it. Like I don't need it if it's not gonna come to next week.
Yeah, Amazon Prime ain't priming like it used to,
Yeah, like y'all
child. I don't
switching it
know.
all up.
I think that's because now they have so many sellers on Amazon that sell like selling stuff and you know mailing it themselves and stuff like that. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Um, but yeah, you do need to slow down because you're supposed to be trying to buy a house. Well, not
Mm.
trying, you are going to buy a house.
Yeah, I
So
definitely will be slowing down.
I didn't buy much. I actually this weekend went to JC Penney, somewhere I haven't been in a long time. But they had a really good sale and they had a doorbuster of a comforter. So I had got a king size comforter for like $40.
That's good.
So and then when I got home I actually ordered another full and a queen online for the other guest bedrooms because the ones that we have they kind of flimsy and they more summery like spring, so I just ordered like fall colors for those because you can't beat that any size. It was any size comforter for $40. So and then I bought some of my holy grail, my castor oil. I ordered a real big one this time because I use it so much on everything, but it's been working. I mean, I'm not going to stop using it. So that's all I bought. So you got to hit this joint up is where we highlight small business. And this week we're highlighting Pound Cake Cosmetics. Pound Cake Cosmetics is founded by Camille Bell from Philly and Johnny Velasquez. Camille had an idea and, started this business because she got dropped off at college. She's a graduate of Temple University, and she went to the Rite Aid, and she found that she couldn't find a lot of cosmetics for her skin type and color, which was not cool for her. And she realized that when makeup is created, that people with her skin color and type are an afterthought. So she decided to make her own cosmetics. And her whole thing is that lipstick shades look different on everyone's lip, which is true. So this is a pro-Black, pro-fat, and pro-queer company. I can't hear you.
Oh, I just said, oh wow.
And so yeah, so their Instagram is Pound Cake and their website is poundcakecosmetics.com. I actually came across them on National Lipstick Day, which was on last Saturday, and I ordered a little lippy. So we'll see when it comes how it goes. So make sure y'all hit them up, support a fellow Black woman from Philly and a Temple University graduate.
That's what's up. So for horoscope this week, I'm going to do Virgo. Um, Leos, y'all, you got a little time.
Hey,
Uh,
let the Leos enjoy their birthdays. Like, dang.
I
What
did
was it?
Leos the last time, so I mean it's August. Um, so for love, and I needed this anyway. I needed to hit. I haven't been looking at my horoscope anyway, so. For love, your health is your number one priority when the full moon lands in your sixth house of well being on Tuesday. If a past health issue resurfaces, it will take all your energy to conquer it this time around. Good thing you promised you'd be each other's side. You'd be by each other's side in sickness and in health.
I was about to say that. It don't sound like love. That sound like health, but I
I
get
know, right?
it.
Powerful Mars is in your practical sign as it trines lucky Jupiter and money guru Taurus on Tuesday as well, giving you reason to believe that your financial situation will improve in the future. It might not happen overnight, Virgo, but keep in mind that anything worth having is worth having for. Anything worth having is worth working for.
I don't know what she was saying.
um and for money. This week, it's important that you communicate your ideas and needs as clearly as possible. Say the difficult things in mentor and professional unions. The more you can do this, the sooner you can get back to normal. Meanwhile, your hopes and dreams could be a little fuzzy around the edges. Take some time to get focused about personal and financial goals. Wow. And
Stop
for
spending that damn money.
and for health, the cosmos is encouraging you to get out of your rut. You may enjoy sports, but do most of your exercising in your imagination while sitting in a chair. How true is this? I literally
They calling you out for real, for
listen,
real.
yes. I literally finally like with my new phone, it came with free 3 months of Apple Fitness. So I was like, okay, maybe this is the start, and I downloaded it. But you need someone or something to inspire you. That could happen now. Either a piece of news or some sort of revelation will get you going again. I know that's right. Yes, I need to get my
Well, let
behind.
me inspire you.
Girl, look
No,
at that
I'm
old pictures.
serious.
Listen, look at that. Listen, I'm gonna do that.
No, like, so what's today? Today is Wednesday. Last week, one of Eric friends passed away from a heart condition in her sleep, right? And then yesterday, and she was living in Virginia. And then yesterday, one of the clients that I had, her daughter, 41, passed away suddenly from cardiac arrest.
Oh my God.
When I
You
heard
you
that,
think that's inspiration?
no,
Ugh.
it says a piece of news or some sort of revelation will get you
Revelation.
going again.
Oh my God, girl. I need to make my I've been saying forever I needed to make my cardiologist appointment. Oof.
It was like eye opening for me because I'm like in a couple of days, like these two young women
Yes.
died from.
Right. And that's what made me I know somebody who that's why I'm always asking people about their darn mammogram. So yeah, I don't know. Oh my God. That's so
Yeah,
sad.
get moving. Even if you are doing chair exercises, get moving. Like it
Yeah.
only take 20 to 30 minutes a day to get some movement in. You know what I mean? So just gotta make it a priority. Mm. So let's get into this week's episode topic. This week's episode topic is friendships and feelings change, being a supportive friend. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna be transparent and say I wasn't always a good friend or a supportive friend. That's something that I had to learn. And I'm still working on it because I know that I can improve in some areas. Um, but a lot of it was the relationships that I had with my sisters and also other women in my family
Yep.
as to why um, my friendship struggled. But at the time, I didn't realize that.
Right.
And I didn't understand the importance of friendships and allowing people to show up for you and be there for you.
Right.
So um, I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. Um, but I've gotten better. So I can say that. But in regards to friendships and feelings changing, that is definitely true. I mean, and it's nothing, sometimes I don't think it's anything personal. It's just that we're all in different stages of our lives. Some people have children, some people are married, people are just going through different things. And learning not to take it personal when you don't hear from somebody, thinking, oh God, what did I do that I haven't heard from them, but actually reaching out, because sometimes people are not okay and just you reaching out can help them, you know what I mean? But um feelings do change. I mean, sometimes a friend that you've had all your life, they may be in a different space, which may cause you to feel different towards them. And that's definitely happened to me. It was uncomfortable, but it was something that I had to realize and accept. So,
Yeah, I mean, your life is not always going to be like the same, and priorities are going to shift as you get older. And for me, friendships has been kind of weird because I've always, to me, strive to be like a good friend. Like that meant a lot to me. But it's not now me, like being a mom, being a wife. um I never aspire to be a bad friend, but my friendships are not like my number one priority. Where I think before, when I was like a single person, I didn't have kids, you know what I mean? Like, so
mhm.
I had the energy for it, you know? Like, if this person is having something, this person is having something, or, you know, um, but I think that a lot of my friends, um, that maybe I used to spend more time with or talk to more frequently, I just feel like they just kind of transitioned to like maybe like family territory, because like with family members, you may not talk to them all the time, but there's no love lost. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like I have friends who I consider them to be close friends in regards to how I feel about them. Like if something happens to them, how devastated I would be, or, how I would feel entitled to be there for them if something happened in their life. But it's not necessarily somebody who I talk to on a daily basis. Like I honestly don't really have any friend that I like talk on the phone with every single day.
Yeah, me
You know what I'm
either.
saying? Like there was a point in my life where I definitely had at least two or three people that I spoke to on the phone every single day.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
because things should have changed in your life.
right, that's what I'm saying. So like I don't have anybody like that. The only person that I probably talk to every single day is my husband. Um, but um I definitely, like I can't go, like if it seemed like I went, too long from hearing from somebody, I'll check in, and some people do it for me, some people don't, because I know they got a lot going on or whatever. But um I just think that, yeah, it just depending on who you are today, because like who I am today is not who I was 15 years ago. It's not even who I was 2 years ago. So, it's just a lot of times a lot of times you may grow with the person, you may grow apart from the person.
Hmm.
You may grow up, the person may be growing sideways or whatever.
Yeah,
But or some people ain't grow at all, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like some
that's true.
people are just the same place they were 5 years ago.
Hmm. Yeah,
I try to be supportive as much as I can. I feel like in the past, sometimes I was maybe too supportive, and when I was in a moment where people could show support for me, I didn't get it, and so that kind of like is disappointing. But I don't know. Like I mean, I just think friendships can be complicated, um, like any relationship.
I think they could be complicated because we make them to be complicated. Something that I learned in therapy that's always going to stick with me is everybody can't show up for you,
Right.
even though you think this is who you want to show up for you and who should show up for you. They can't always do that because some people can't and aren't even showing up for themselves. So that was something that I had to learn. And it was a hard pill to swallow, especially when you've been supportive all the time to certain people. But at the same time, when you look back, you're supportive all the time to them because they need that support. But one thing also is that I know is that, when you do things and when you support people, if you're not looking for accolades or for somebody to pat you on the back, then you do it without caring whether they can be there for you or not, because your blessings are still going to come. But realizing that so many people are dealing with things mentally, emotionally, financially that they don't share with you, um, just means that they just may not be able to show up for you. And so it just you just have to say, and allow people that are showing up for you to show up, because sometimes people that you least expect show up for you,
Facts.
not the people that you thought were going to show up for you.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just I don't think friendships have to be complicated. And for me, I've had the same friends for such a long time, but I can only say that one of the friends that I've had for a long time, that we've never went through anything serious or went through a trial. If we didn't speak, it wasn't on no hard feelings or no animosity or anything. It was just changes in our lives. And when we picked back up, or when I needed her, she was literally always there. Like, no matter what, it was like I could call her and be like, I need this information. And she's like on it, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So, but that's just is what it is. Some people have that maturity level and some people don't. And learning to accept people for who they are and where they are is a big part of friendships.
Right. And then some people, may not know exactly who they are. Like that's one thing that I had to learn too, because um and then I feel like, when you're younger, I feel like you may be a little more judgmental. Um, but not everybody, 30, 40, 50, not everybody know exactly who they are and are content in who that person is, or have discovered who they are or what works best for them. A lot of people are still living like these fake lives, and that's the thing. Like for me, I don't know, like if you are 40 and you still are perpetrating a lie and still like, I don't know, just like not being true to who you are.
But that has a lot to do with social media too. Because I think people feel like they got to keep up a
No, like I just
certain.
think like people are just like so afraid of like being judged by other people. Like I just feel like if you like, some people who maybe be in a marriage and like to the world they show, like to the world they're showing people that like that they are really married, but then them personally, that they live separately, they don't live together, like
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
the
married.
social media part. They putting out the good, but the real deal. So why do that? I don't know.
um
I stopped trying to figure things out because it used to stress me out. Like,
well, see, I look at it like this: if you can't be real with yourself, then I really can't expect you to be real with me. You know what
yeah,
I mean? So it's like I don't think that that's a far-fetched revelation, because it was a revelation that I had. Like, oh well, this person is not even being real with themselves or like honest about. It's like who they are. Stand on it. By now you're 40 something years old, but to each its own. I know a lot of people when they finally like go finally shed whatever that's preventing them from being who they are, they sometimes do feel like they wasted a lot of time trying to like perpetrate and be who they thought other people wanted them to be. You know what I
hmm,
mean? A lot of times that's just what it is. It's like, well, that'll be a distraction. You get what I'm saying? Like if people knew that I was gay, like that would be a distraction. That's all they would see. Or, if people knew that I was divorced and I wasn't really with my husband, or like,
mm-mm.
but it's
It
like
takes too much time to be fake.
it's not fair. Like it's not fair to like the next person that you're gonna meet or whatever, because you're
Right.
like, oh well, yeah, yeah, I date women, but I really have a husband, and you know, I don't know, like, but
Listen.
I just, yeah, I mean, I just feel like, with friendships, as you get older, like for me, I had friends who I grew up with who knew me my whole life, and it was stages in which I spoke to them more frequently, um and stages where I barely spoke to them. Like I have one of my friends who right now, this is probably the most we spoke as adults, and that's because our lives are more similar now than they've been in the last like 20 years. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, but this is somebody who's always been a close friend in the aspect of like I've known her my entire life, so I consider her somebody like a close family friend. But in regards to communication and talking, this is probably the most that we do.
Right.
That we do because like I said, we have a kid that's the same age, and then like at one point our kids went to school together. So this is like the most that we talk. And it's completely fine. You know what I mean? It's just some people you talk to more frequently during this stage of your life, some people who you may not like. Um and also sometimes like you may not know that your friend needs your support or you know is struggling. Sometimes you don't know if you don't reach out.
Yeah, but also too, you can't expect people to support you and reach out if you're not letting them know what's going on. And that's something that was hard for me that I had to realize like you always talk about people don't support you, but how they gonna support you if they don't know what's going on?
Well, I'm saying like if they reach out like, "Hey, how are you?" and you're not being honest, like,
That's what I'm
"Oh,
saying.
yeah."
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying like I had one of my friends who I don't talk to all the time, but I mean, I've known her for a long time. Like she lost her dad. Like she lost her dad what like 2 weeks ago, and she messaged me and asked for my prayers or whatever. But we don't like I said, we don't talk all the time. It's usually like, oh, happy birthday. But this was somebody who at one point in my life I spoke to every single day and seen all the time. But
Hmm.
it's like, I feel like, okay, well, she thought of me in that moment of her struggling, you know, um and dealing with, like losing her father unexpectedly. So um I just think that that's kind of like what friendship is as you get older. Is more so like, well, I'm always here if you need me. I'm always here if you need me, but um it should be reciprocated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I may need you more than you need me. You might need me more than whatever. But, you should also feel like, well, if I really need this person, because I know people, I don't, we both, neither one of us really asks people for stuff. You know what I mean? Or ask, we're independent people. We're kind of people who we're gonna try to find a way to get it
Hmm.
done without involving other people.
Right. So if I ask for something, I really need it.
So I feel like when people like that really reach out and ask for something, then you should be like, oh, she never asked for anything. Sure, whatever you need.
It should
Uh,
be like that,
it should be
but
like that.
that's not the
It should be
reality.
like that, but it's not always like that. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like you don't really need it. You asking me when you can handle it yourself. Like, why you
Hmm.
asking me?
Hmm.
But you know, I think like you said, friendships can be complicated and people can overcomplicate them. Because sometimes people allow ego to get in the way, or people allow um like for instance, this situation where it wasn't a friend situation, it's just the way that sometimes humans like put their own shit on somebody else, right? So like when we announced that we were expecting, uh we sent the announcements in the mail. And when my mother-in-law got the announcement, she was actually offended that that we told her so late, right? Because she thought we were punishing her.
Oh,
So she thought we was punishing her because of something that she did before or whatever that like nobody even really like
that she
remembered.
didn't let go of.
Right, that she probably felt bad about or whatever.
Hmm.
So I was waiting for her to get, and that's the thing that's so crazy is because I was deliberately waiting for her to receive her announcement before I put anything on social media. So it was like she got it and she's upset because we're just telling her or whatever. And in the whole sense, I'm waiting for her to get the announcement so that I can tell other people. And then it was like once we told her, like, no, like we had a miscarriage the year before.
So you
So
don't know why I'm waiting till I'm this
yes,
amount of months to announce it.
right. Like a lot of people didn't know because I didn't know losing. That's the thing. Like the difference with losing a pregnancy early. I was only like 5 weeks pregnant, so it's like you don't know. Like, okay, well, let me see how long. Um, because you don't want to do that. It's so depressing. Like if you tell somebody you're pregnant, then you lose the baby, you got to explain it. It's too
Yeah,
much.
it is. It
So
is. And people
so yeah.
they don't understand that. They put their own, they insert their own selfish thoughts and feelings into it
Right.
instead
And I
of
know I've done that also. Like, well, why didn't I respond then? Or, oh, she must have felt some type of way when I said this. And like, you never know. People be going through their own mess. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like, you never know what somebody else is going through. So it's like sometimes you got to be like, as long as you cool and like, well, I didn't do anything, regardless of how this person may have perceived it, like, I didn't do anything. Um,
somebody that I'm not excuse me, friends, somebody that I'm not friends with anymore. That's what they used to do all the time. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? It's not about you. Let me have the space that I need to deal with what I need to deal with. And it's so funny because I had said to them in front of their daughter, and their daughter repeated it to them, and they were pissed. Like, Miss
oh,
Shalia
brought
told
it up.
you it
That is
ain't always
hilarious.
about you. So you need to realize
Run the
that.
mouth of babes.
Yes, and people do that, and it's like you have to realize that you can't make stuff about you and how you
But
feel and how you would feel. That comes with maturity, though.
but it comes with dealing with your own shit. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like you stated, it wasn't until everybody know we've known each other for a really long time, but we went really long chunks of time where we were not speaking, where we were not friends, we were not
Right.
speaking. I never considered that we were not friends. We just were not speaking.
hmm
And it was never anything serious. It was never anything major. But when I realized that the reason the reason why it was hard for her to trust women was because of the traumatic experience she had within her family structure and her sisters, then I'm like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? It's not me, like it's what she got going on or
Right.
whatever. And once I realized that, then it's easier for me to navigate,
Right.
because I'm not like trying to figure out this puzzle or, like, oh no, like, and then like you said, you've done the work, you done worked on it, and then you've also come in a space where it's like, hey, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Like, did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. But it can be developments of friendships. I do have a lot of friends who like I fell out with. Not necessarily because anything happened or like for me, I've had friends where I felt like the relationship was one sided, that I was
hmm
always doing something for them.
hmm
I had a period of time where I felt like I never could tell people no. People
Yeah.
would ask me any and everything and I will always say yes and I will always do
hmm
it. Um so I don't have that I don't really have that issue. If anything, people who ask me to do something is, my family, but it's never like anything major.
Right.
But sometimes I overextend myself by offering to do things or offering to get things. That's one thing that I do. And then when it get down to the wire, I realize that I overextended myself.
hmm
So I I mean, again, like I said, it's all about like self-discovery, working on your shit, being open to listen to things that you may do or say. I used to say so many hurtful things to people who I loved and people who I cared about without even knowing the damage. You know what I mean? That's something that like you you have to be in a certain space in order to like accept, receive it. You know what I mean? Like if you receive it.
Listen, that just happened before we started recording. You was like, I just think sometimes you too hard on people. And I was like, all right, maybe I am being too hard.
You, sometimes you have boundaries of the way that you want. This is the Aries in you. The way that you want things to be presented to you and you want things to be done, because my dad is just like that. And when people don't do it the way that you like, well, why didn't you do it this way? Then it's like a hard and pass.
Yeah,
But
but at the same time, though, too, when I think about things, because I'm like, yeah, I am like that. But at the same time, I do give some grace because I know that people don't do things in a way that I do them. But I know too that if I would have did that in that way, you probably would have been giving me the side eye. So that's why, but it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. I know that.
well, I mean, it is, but it's also a positive thing to have guidelines and structure, because those things, I know for me, like I said, I know my dad is like that. He to me was like growing up was like a rule follower. And so for me, I always like, I think, chose to do the right thing sometimes. But these are just like moral compasses, you know what I mean? Like some people just have certain internal standards or whatever, and everybody's is going to be different, I don't think that it's a negative thing, because
No, no, no.
but it's just a matter of being aware of it. um
Yeah, for sure. I think with that, I extend more grace to people that I know, but people that I'm unfamiliar with, I'm like, no, this is my boundary. This is how, you know, things should be. And sometimes I realize too, I had to realize this with clients. Sometimes people just don't know. It's just a lack of not knowing.
or
Um,
things that are significant to you, like sometimes things aren't significant, they don't see the significance in moving a certain way. Like some people don't see the significance of, like for me, I a lot of times do want to know I a lot of times do want to know like what to expect, or like, what's the next step. And some people are the kind of people who they just like live in a moment, and they're just like, oh, okay, just go with the punches. Like I'm never a kind of person where like I'm gonna get in a car with you and you just gonna drive me wherever. Like, no, I need to know where we going, how long we plan on being there, who all gonna be there.
I'm kind of in the middle with that. I'm in the middle because I'm learning to live in the moment because not that the other way of planning it causes anxiety. So I'm learning.
Not knowing causes me anxiety. Like not knowing what's happening. Like even like for instance, I'm gonna give you an example of a moment that I was experiencing my anxiety recently, right?
Hmm.
And it was very minor, and it didn't really affect my life, right? But I physically could feel the anxiety.
Hmm.
Ava's friend asked for her to go see Barbie, right? So the mom told me that the Barbie started at 6:30. And she would have been in my house, she said originally, she said like 5:15. Well, it was like 5:20 and she still wasn't here. So I messaged her and she said they was about to leave. They live like 10 minutes away. She said they was about to leave. Well, it was like 5:35. Like I was feeling so much anxiety because I was like, what is taking them so long? Did something happen to them?
Oh God.
Like, yes. And it was like just the fact that like I knew that I had to be like I needed to have my phone ready, like when she pulled up, like you know what I mean? So it was just like in that moment I was just feeling the anxiety. I was physically acknowledging the anxiety that I was feeling that specific day, even though it was like I was even like, well, I don't know how y'all gonna get there on time now, blah 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 blah. But they wound up getting
Knowing
there
that the
on.
movie be having a whole bunch of previews and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but I was like, it was because this parent is usually always punctual.
Hmm.
So, but I think afterwards I realized that she had like her baby niece with her, and that probably was what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. um everybody processes things differently, but um how do you feel? This is what I wanted to ask you. How do you feel about making new friends?
I'm open to it. It's just that I haven't made any, and the people that I thought would be a new friend, they just didn't follow through. So, like for instance, it was a girl, and this just recently happened where I realized, like, okay, I can't mess with her. So it was a girl from my previous job. Me and her had the same birthday. We lived very close to each other. A couple
Yeah.
Saturdays ago, she hit me up and said she had tickets to this concert. Um, that same day, I had gotten from, because at my job we do our staff meetings because we all work different days in the office and work remote. We do our staff meetings one Saturday out of the month. So I just got home from that, and she had hit me up saying she had tickets to, I think it was like Silk and so like all these other R&B artists. She's like, she had tickets, and I was like, well, how much? And she was like, well, I'm gonna give them to you. So when she had put the venue in the text, but when I looked up the venue, it was a different, and I was like, but is this it? So I texted her and confirmed her and was like, is it at this such and such place? This girl never to this day responded.
What is she dead?
No, she not dead. So I
What?
just was like, okay, because at least because she probably sold the tickets and got money for them, but all you had to do was say, oh, somebody else somebody else got you don't even have to give me a whole book. If somebody else got the tickets, I gave the tickets to somebody else. Like that's it. But to never respond is crazy. So it's not that I'm not open, it's just that people that I've tried to consider haven't passed the vibe check.
Hmm.
How do you feel about it?
Um, I think I have made new friends.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I have made new friends, but I haven't like hung out with anybody. So I don't know.
I'm careful with who I
um,
call my friend too.
yeah, I don't even know if that's the thing. I don't even know if I would call the people friends yet, but these are like, women who I've connected with, who who I like. I dig them. Like, I think that they're cool. Yeah, I know it's so weird. It just sound like dating somebody, but um yeah, like, I mean, I've met a couple of women in the last 2 years that I thought was cool, that we text here and there or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely like open to creating new friends, definitely. But I just think it's different. It's just different when you have limited time to hang out.
Yeah,
So it's just different. Cause I mean, I feel bad because I don't really have time to hang out with like people who I've known for a really long time who ask to hang out, and I like don't really have a lot of time for that, or like I have a limited window of when I can hang out. So, but
yeah. It's it's a lot. I mean, yeah, I just don't think, and like I've met some cool people who are friends of friends and we've connected on social media, but that's as far as it go. But it's so crazy because so I had a client and I finished with her, like we were done. And she's a nice lady, don't get me wrong, but you're my client. I will never, like, we can't hang out and chill. So she requested me on Facebook, and
oh no,
I'm
girl,
about to
no.
delete my Facebook because everything else is private. And just was like, hey, I really enjoyed our sessions. Because one of her things with her was she has a hard time with meeting new people or whatever. But
Oh, okay.
girl, I'm
Hmm.
not, that's no, we can't hang out. Like, no. So it just was weird. But Yeah, I mean, friendships change, feelings change, the dynamics of friendships change because I have, this is something that I want to touch on out and with this. I have friends that are in different categories that I know I go to this friend for this and this friend for that because everybody can't fulfill, and I'm not going to say needs, but everybody can't be that support that you need in certain times, right? So you might have your friend that you go to if you need encouragement, your friend that you may be able to go to if you need advice with relationships. Like everybody
Right,
fits
right.
a different role in your life. So
Yeah,
you also have to recognize that with your friends so that you're not looking to go to for support from a friend who can't support you because they're not capable of doing that. So that's important to know who your friends are and what role that they play in your life. Some friends can fulfill, you know, most of the things that you need, but everybody isn't able to do that.
yeah, and I think like knowing that or being able to identify that does come with trial and error sometimes, or it just comes with like realizing that this person's not capable. Like, okay, well, like you aren't capable. And I've seen like things that some of my friends may have experienced. Like I've had friends who lost their parents, and they may have had a friend who didn't know what to do, and they didn't hear from that person or like barely seen that person. But then like when that person was experiencing their loss of their parent, then they actually was there for them. You know what I mean? Like they basically did what they I think that's the thing too. Like that's the thing. Like sometimes people um don't know how to like be empathetic and like, do what you will want somebody to do for you, or yeah, I mean, and it just comes with growth. Like it's
Yeah, or just asking, what do you need? How can I support you? And people
exactly.
will let you know how you can support them. And, you
It's so
know,
easy.
it is, but again, that's where people make things complicated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people overcomplicate things because I think they scared they because of the fear of like doing or saying the wrong thing, and so a lot of times it wound up being them like not saying anything. Um, I know that one of my husband's friends recently lost her dad, um, and before when her dad was like sick and was going through it, like I don't. It was times where I didn't feel like my husband was being considerate of like, oh, well, maybe she's just going through stuff. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I think he was looking at it like, well, if I'm trying to check on you, you get what I'm saying? Like, why are you like not even texting back or calling back or whatever?
Yeah.
Um, but everybody handles everything differently. So
People take that personal too. And you can't sometimes just hit the person up and be like, I'm just making sure you okay. Cause I had to do that to you a few times. Like, what is going on? I text you 2 days ago, like you good. But sometimes
yeah.
you gotta do that. It just it's
Um,
maturity, it's growth, it's a lot of things that go into being a friend. Not easy.
Yeah, and I think as you get older, like the more shit you've been through with somebody together, you know what I mean? Like the more, you've seen them go through stuff and come out, or the more they've seen you deal with things and deal with people and deal with scenarios, and you a lot of times, it's like, they get their stripes, and so it's like you don't question, like you don't question their loyalty, you don't question whether or not they're really like in it for you, you know what I mean? Because like
I don't know. I
us
don't
as
know.
women, here she go. I mean,
It's
I've
always
been through stuff.
exceptions to the rule.
But I'm just saying, if I've been through, but I don't have the energy at 41 and whatever how old I am. I don't have the energy to keep questioning people that I keep around. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't have the energy. If I kept you around all this time, like, then I'm gonna just assume that you're here for me until you show me otherwise. You know what I mean? But I can't.
People just switch up on you so easily, and it just be like, well, damn, that was really who you really was. You know what I'm saying? So that's
People
why I'm
switch up
like,
because, but I feel like people switch up because of shit they got with themselves. You get
it
what I'm
is,
saying?
it
So
is.
that's not gonna be no sweat off my back. Like, I don't have time to worry about that. Like, all I know is if I've been 100 with you and I've been there for you anytime you ever needed me, or anytime, like, you ever was going through something or whatever, I checked on you and I was there for you. And if you go silent, you go dead or whatever, that's on you. Like, that's your loss. I don't have time to be worried about that anymore. Like, I have human beings that like rely on me on a daily basis. So I don't have time to worry about that no more. Like, I don't want to grow old and not have any friends. I do have a lot of people who I care about, who I believe care about me, and those are the people who get the energy. Period.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like realizing, allowing those who are going to show up, allow putting your energy into to those people. But I mean, it's just I always think back to this person that I was friends with for a long time, and it just was like I had to realize that people want to see you do good, but not better than them sometimes. And and listen, I ain't really got shit going on for real, for real. I'm still struggling over here, but in their eyes. But yeah, just try to do. I feel like try to do what you can. If you don't know, as sometimes it's a simple. We say this all the time. It's a simple conversation. To kind of just clear things. It doesn't have to be complicated. You want to know something, what's going on with somebody, hit them up. If you're thinking about them, hit them up. I do that a lot. Like
Me
people that I
too.
don't talk to on a regular basis, like, hey,
Me
I was
too.
just thinking about you, everything good. But one thing, and I don't want to be passive aggressive with this, it might sound passive aggressive, but when I come to Philly, I'm not putting in the effort that I previously was putting in to try to go see everybody. I'm just not doing that anymore because no, seriously, I had to step back and
No,
realize
I just find it funny because one of my friends who've lived in Georgia forever, everybody comes to her. You know who you are because you be listening to my podcast.
well, don't nobody come to me. I go to them. So I realized I gotta stop doing that because yeah, I like, oh, let me get everybody together and go to dinner and
Right, but I think that's a way to, like, I mean, you don't be here for a long time.
no, but at the same time, I just traveled or drove all of these miles and it's like, well, when am I going to see you? Come see me. No, you come see me. You make an effort to come see me. Like, so yeah, I gotta, that's one thing that you might see me, you may not. You might know I'm there, and you may not, because it's just, sometimes it's stressful to try to see everybody and then you don't see somebody and then it's like, oh, I didn't get a chance to see you. Well, did you make any effort to see me?
Yeah.
Or it's people, when the next time you coming to Philly? When the next time you coming to Philly? When are you ever going to come to Georgia? Because the invitation's been open. So it's not, sometimes it becomes too much to try to see everybody in a short period of time when
Right. Yeah.
um so yeah, that's just where I'm at with it. But my same people that I always see that make an effort to see me are always priority. Everybody else is like, if I see you, I see you. If I don't, I don't. No love lost though. No love lost at all.
Pretty much.
So all right, let's get into our lyrics. What's your lyrics for this week?
So my lyrics are from "Thank You for Being a Friend" by Andrew Gold.
Okay.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to say I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off. Won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, well, you would see the biggest gift will be from me. And the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend."
Okay. Golden Girls.
Yes.
So my lyrics are from a song that a lot of people think of as a love song. But when I was thinking about it, these lyrics actually stood out to me because it can apply to a love relationship or a friendship. So my lyrics are Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition. And the lyrics that I chose say, on a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, can you stand the rain? Storms will come, this we know for sure. Can you stand the rain?
I thought that was good.
Yeah, because people be there for you when you up, but when you down, it be scarce out here.
Pretty much.
So we're going to get out of here. We appreciate everybody for listening, for sharing, for interacting with us on social media. We definitely appreciate the love and the support. And we will catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Hold up. Don't leave yet. Thanks for listening to my mom and auntie. Make sure you guys follow them on Instagram at the underscore JAWN underscore podcast. On Twitter at W underscore the J. On TikTok at the JAWN A podcast. And visit our website www.jawnpod.net. Don't forget to ask the Jawn sending your listening letters to thejawnpod@gmail.com. Period.
This is the JAWN, a podcast. I love y'all.